Alright guys, so real quick, trying to play my Thrustmaster T248 on my PlayStation 4, and everything works, everything turns on. See, everything turns on, but when I go to try to connect it, it won't connect. So I've done some research, and this is what I get right here. The blue light turns off, and it just stays stuck on that screen. So I've done some research and I've seen that it just needs a firmware update, which I need to plug it into a PC and update the drivers and the firmware. Guys, so make sure you plug in your wheel, make sure you plug in the power supply, and then plug in the USB into the laptop. Go to this website, I'll put the link in the description. And what you want to do is go to drivers and download, and then click on it, and then it'll pop you up on this. So go ahead, hit next, and install. Make sure you have the Thrustmaster set to PC, which you change it like that. Once you have it the PC, just make sure you exit. Alright, so this is going to reset the computer. Let's go ahead and do it. If you want to see the firmware of what your wheel is on, go to base, and it'll tell you firmware 1.72. So that is why this ain't working correctly, because the newest one is 2.0. Alright, so my wheel ain't recognizing on the laptop, so make sure you go to device manager. Go to device manager. Your wheel's not connecting like mine. It's not recognizing on the computer. Type in control panel. Okay. Alright, and then go over and type in device management. Click on that. Alright, and then go down to universal serial bus controllers. Okay. Go ahead and plug in your wheel. Alright. And the one with the symbol on it, just uninstall that. Alright, and go ahead and uninstall it. Alright. Alright, and then go to the Thrustmaster firmware update that we downloaded. Go ahead and hit yes.
1 week later.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Game for Daniel, aka Big T. And real quick, gonna try to figure out why. Okay, so if you guys remember my previous video, I unboxed this $69 untested T248 Thrustmaster wheel. Now, it worked. Everything seemed to work just fine when I got it. I had a little trouble trying to get it connected, but eventually, you know, I did the share an option and hold it, and it connected. But obviously, I looked it up, and that don't do shit. That doesn't do nothing. Basically, you just get it connected, and you're supposed to hit the PlayStation button, and it's supposed to connect. It's supposed to find it. Well, now I'm having it where it's not even registering it. It's not even registering it as, you know, it's even connected to the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Hell, I can't even get it recognized on the PC, and I've heard it's like a firmware where I need to update the firmware, but I can't get it to actually recognize on the PC. I have all the firmware and the driver downloaded on my laptop, but this wheel just does not come up on the PC when I plug it in, and it doesn't even recognize it. So if it doesn't recognize it, I can't update it, and that's literally where I'm stuck at. So I'm thinking it just needs to update because it's on an old firmware. But I'm going to take it apart anyway and just see if there's anything wrong going on inside, just to see. You know, I'm curious because I'm running out of options. So I figured better go ahead and just take it apart. So I already took out some of the screws. There's screws there, and there, and then screws back here that I took out. Alright, so the bottom are just fake. There's no screws on the bottom, on the front of this wheel. But if we look, there's more screws. There's screws on the top. So I'm going to get those off as well. I'm just going to look inside to see what's inside. This is going to be my first time, actually, my first impression of, you know, what's inside this wheel. So I'm hoping, you know, at least there's something in there that gives me a sign. But honestly, I think the wheel's fine. I just think it needs a firmware update is why I cannot get it to connect at all. Turns on. It's calibration, right? But as soon as it, you know, says like PS4, PS5, and I go hit the button, it does nothing. I don't know, so this is like my last hope of seeing. Now, I mean, what confuses me, it worked when I first got it. When it first came in the mail, it worked. Like, I got it to connect. I threw a couple fits with it, but I managed to get it connected a couple of times. So, I don't know what's going on there. So, I got my longer screwdriver because my little one wouldn't reach. Alright, so I think that might be enough to get this sucker off. Let's see. Oh, yep, there it is, coming right off. Oh. Alright, let's see what it looks like inside here. Let's get it off. Oh, there's a fan in there. Alright, so here's the shell. Okay. That is inside the shell. So that explains the breathing holes. I thought, you know, at first you're like, is that a speaker? But now I understand why the breathing holes are there. Because there's an actual fan in this. There is a legit fan. So now that makes sense why it says, you know, it tells you how hot this thing gets on the screen. So that is really cool. Look at that. That's actually really neat how they put that together. Here's the motor. It's about, you know, a little decent size. You know, it's still little compared to, like, the really big wheels. But that's still enough torque, enough power to give you what it can do. Heck yeah. So I'm looking around here. Looks like this wheel's never been taken apart at all. And the reds are basically like the warranty, you know, once you unscrew those off. But I think you take those off, I think that takes you straight down to the gears. So this wheel has gears plus a belt driven. So it's a little bit of mixture of gears and belt driven. You can see a little bit of the gears in there. You see that? It's right in there. You can see that. So that is cool as hell. But that's crazy what this wheel can do. The fan, that really threw me off. I was not expecting a fan in there. It says the source of the wind, 24 volt. Huh. How's it 24 volt if it's only getting 18.5 volt in? I don't know. Everything looks fine though. I'm not seeing nothing unplugged. I'm assuming this is like the connection to this board. This is all connected. There's a wire here running over to the fan. Okay, I mean, everything looks fine, honestly. Everything looks soldered right. I know the motor works, so I don't know why I'm looking at the motor. The motor works because it does its whole calibration thing. Is everything else in here? Is that plugged in? That's plugged in, it looks like. Pushing down. I want to make sure everything is like plugged in the way it's supposed to be. Honestly, guys, oh, right there's a big gear. You can see it. Right there's the big gear. But honestly, I don't know what to name this video. I guess I'll just name it inside of I don't know, inside of a Thrustmaster T248. But honestly, I only took it apart just to see if there was something off. But everything looks like, you know, like it hasn't been touched. It's supposed to look like this. Everything looks intact. So honestly, I think my problem is why I cannot get the sucker to connect at all. It's got to be with that firmware. It's definitely got to be a firmware, because it says it's running on firmware 1.72. That is like an old firmware. The newest update for this wheel is 2.00. Like, so I got to figure out how to get this connected to my computer somehow, because it won't recognize on my computer. But I need to somehow manage to get it connected, and I don't see any videos about it either. Like, there's really no videos about it. So even if I do search it up, there's no way I can find an answer. So I'm literally just guessing at this. You guys, so I finally got it working. Oh my god. So what it was the whole time, I mean, yes, it still needs updated. It still needs a firmware update because it's not on the right update. But as you see right here, it's 1.72. But what it was the wire, why it wasn't connecting right. So I had a faulty cord the whole time. The whole time I had a faulty cord. So I can't believe that. So it was my cord, the cord where the type C. Alright guys, so after I said all that, it ain't the cord. I don't know what it is, because when I go to plug it in my PS5, it does the same thing. It doesn't even try to connect. But on my PS4 it connects. So like, it's really got me, I'm actually confused of what's going on. Like, I can't figure out this problem. I'm usually pretty smart when it comes to these things, but this wheel's actually got me really confused, because it looks brand new. It looks nothing's wrong with it. The only thing I can think of is the firmware update, but that still shouldn't stop me from playing it. I would just be on an old update. But other than that, I can't even get it to connect to my PC. It doesn't even recognize. I've tried my wife's computer. It doesn't recognize. So, like, it's definitely a connection problem, but nothing looks wrong, and that's what's got me all confused. The charger goes into the wheel, into the system. Well, apparently I didn't know the cord was faulty or wasn't fast enough to process all the information. So I was like, I wonder if it's the cord. You know, just, why not? I'm out of options. So I tried a different cord, and I'll be damned, it connected right to the system, like right there. I plugged it in, hit the PlayStation button, and I mean, it hooked it up. And I just got this game too, so I'm trying this out. I've heard a lot of hype about this game. It's a drift racing simulator. But right now I just custom mapped the buttons, so my X is the gas for now. Until I get my pedals. But for now, I just want to test out the wheel. So I made the accelerator the X button for now, until I get my pedals in. So, feeling the wheel. Okay, easy to turn, right? You know, so let's just say I can change the angle. All right, let's see. Change the angle, so I can turn it all the way at a 900 degrees if I want. So, and that is going to be awesome in this drifting game. Alright, so let's pull it out. You know, just say I'm going to pull it out. Okay. Watch this. This is crazy. Just like a real wheel would, like in a real car. Let's just pull it. Actually, let's go this way. Ugh. Damn, you can feel that. Oh my god. Can I reset? Is there a way I can... There we go. Alright, let's... I don't even know where I'm at. I'm trying to do this one hand. That is... It's got some strength. Let's say it crashed. There it goes. Just like a real wheel would in a real car if you drift, and see it straightening itself out. Boom. Fucking crazy. That is crazy. How realistic that is. My impressions on this wheel is just amazing. This is my first force-back wheel, and this is like my opinion. If you want to go with your very first force feedback, I would definitely recommend this wheel. Or the T150 if you want to go a little bit cheaper. But this one ain't too bad of a price if you can find it for the price I found. You know, I only paid $69 for this. Fucking crazy. You see a price like that, jump on it. This wheel is definitely worth it. Hell, even if you see it for $200, jump on it. Jump on it. It's good. It's worth it. I love it. That is nuts. Just the force feedback, that's my first, and like that just blows my mind. All right guys, well I'm glad I figured out. I can't wait to finally do some real racing on this. Peace out everyone, until next time.